Good evening, everybody.
各位晚上好。
So, before we start
那么今天
the Lamrim class, as usual, so we set good motivation why we are here, why we need to study Dharma, why we need to practice Dharma. Therefore, everybody, 1.5 hour totally, you need to forget all your other things, only think about Dharma. Practice Dharma or becoming Dharma or non-Dharma also very much depend on the motivation. Therefore, please strongly, purely generate the mind, the bodhicitta. Simply, you should think I sincerely want to become a Buddha, to benefit all sentient beings, to benefit myself. In order to become a Buddha, in order to achieve the Buddhahood, we must know how to achieve. Also, we must know how to eliminate all the negative thoughts, include negative karma. Therefore, it is very important to study Dharma. Not only study, not only learning, we need to reflect, make a reflections again and again about the Dharma. Then every day we need to meditate, we need to practice, we need to cultivate the Dharma. Therefore, among the teachings, the Lamrim is one of the easy, books, easy teaching to study, to practice. The last class, so we have a kind of 2 sessions. At the beginning, we had a revision class. So then we reviewed about the biography of the Guru who started the Lamrim, which is Adisha. Second, we learn what is the uniqueness, what is the greatness of the Lamrim. So here, simply, you should think, it's look like the Lamrim is look like a, hospital. In Singapore, some hospital is very particular about particular sickness. Some hospital is very complete. It has everything. That means you should think the Lamrim teaching is a complete hospital which has all the equipment, which is we can test all kinds of sickness. Also, we can get all kinds of medicines. So, this hospital has a very uniqueness, which is which has the complete. Same thing, the Lamrim is look like, very complete hospital. It has, all the things within this textbook. So if somebody asks, why we need to go to this hospital, why not that? That you must know, yes, this hospital has a very, uniqueness there. So what is the uniqueness of the Lamrim? That is explained, uniqueness or the greatness. How many greatness is explained? How many greatness the of Lamrim has? Four. Four, right? Please tell me each of them. The greatness of number one. Yeah. Knowing that all of the teaching are free of contradiction, right? That means the Lamrim has a uniqueness because after you study Lamrim, then you will learn all the teaching are completely free for contradiction, right? What's the number two? What is the number two? The greatness, coming to understand that all of the scriptures are instruction of practice, right? That means after you study Lamrim, then you will know all the Buddha teaching. Any kinds of teaching taught by Buddhas are mainly construction for practice, how to practice. So what is the number three? Easily funding the conqueror's intent. The greatness of the easily funding the conqueror's intent. The number four, greatness of automatically refraining from great wrongdoing, right? So after you study Lamrim, then you will understand number three. The mainly Buddha teach to know, to realize emptiness. Clear? Number four, after you study Lamrim, then automatically you're not going to abandon any kinds of teaching taught by Buddhas. All teachings are, for practice. Then you're not going to abandon the wrongdoing, which is abandoning the Dharma, the four greatness. So this is the uniqueness of the Lamrim. Then chapter number 3, about what? How to listen to and explain the teaching. That means now you know, yes, this hospital has a very unique things. I want to see. I want to visit the hospital. I want to see the doctor, right? That means, yes, Lamrim is very important teaching. Then you need to learn how to listen the teaching. How to listen the teaching. Then, not only that, the master, how to explain. It has 3 parts. So, when you listen teaching, so how you can listen? It has 3 parts. What are they? So, before you listen the teaching, you need to know what contemplating the benefits of hearing the teaching, right? So, before you study Lamrim, before you listen Lamrim, before you study Dharma, before you listen the Dharma, you need to know what kind of benefit I can have, right? What kind of a benefit I can have. Therefore, you must know the benefits of hearing the teaching. That means study the teaching. Then, after you fully understood, yes, if I study Lamrim, if I, hear, listen the Lamrim, I can have many benefits. Then automatically you have a pure respect. Number 2, developing reverence of the teaching and the instructor. Therefore, everybody must have a respect any kinds of teaching. The teaching in different languages, the teaching taught by a different master, we must have a respect because all the teaching are very necessary for us. All the teaching can give you a lot of benefits. That's why we must respect all the teaching. Therefore, according to Buddhist tradition, we always put, all the Dharma texts in the high kind of level. We never put our books with the shoes, right? And many Western people, they are very new in Buddhism. They carry the books and shoes together. Sometimes when they feel, a bit tired, they need some kind of cushion and pillow. They use the book as a pillow, like cushion, because they really don't know the respect. They have to respect the Dharma. It doesn't mean they are bad people, no, because they don't know respect. Then number 3, how you actually listened, right? So what kind of benefits you can have after you listening, after you receiving teachings? Mainly, how many benefits you can have? At the beginning said, look at, contemplating the benefit of the hearing the teaching. Through hearing, phenomena are understood, right? So after you listen the teaching, after you study teaching, then you know the reality of all the phenomena. That means you are free from confusion, right? Then number 2, through hearing, wrongdoing is overcome. If you seriously study Dharma, if you seriously, use the Dharma, then you will be free from wrongdoing, physically, mentally, verbally. Because so far, we wish to be happy, but we never be, always happy. That means something wrong. That means we really don't know which is we must adopt, which is we must avoid. So after you study, after you listen the Dharma, then you will be free from all kinds of wrongdoing. Then next, through hearing, what is the meaningless is eliminated, right? There's a lot of benefits. So not only that, then is mentioned there's a 5 kinds of benefits, right? Page number 57. Moreover, Asangas, Bodhisattva level, Bodhisattva Bhumi says that you should listen with the 5 adhyas in mind. What are the 5 adhyas? The adhya of a jewel, right? That means the Dharma is look like very precious, very important, look like jewel. Number 2, the idea of eyes. That means when you have a good eyes, you can see things very clearly. That means after you study Dharma, you will see the truth, you see the reality. When you see the reality, you are almost free from all the confusion. The number 3, the idea of illuminations, right? So after you study Dharma, you will understand the emptiness. After you realize emptiness, then you knew the ignorance is the mistaken mind. Then all kinds of negative thoughts going to reduce mainly. Number 4, great benefit. Number 5, the idea of being beyond the reproach. Those are the benefits. Then this is, if you study Dharma, if you listen the Dharma, what kind of benefit you have, you must think. Therefore, if you really know, I can have a lot of benefits, then you always, happy to listening the teaching, to study the teaching. Therefore, at the beginning, you must understand, you try to understand all kinds of benefits you can have. Then respect. So, how you can have a reverence or respect the teaching and the instructor. Number 1, listening at a appropriate time. Number 2, showing homage. Number 3, showing deference. Number 4, not being resentful. Number 5, practicing according to the instructor words. Number 6, not looking for the chance to argue. Therefore, you must have a, simply we can say is a, conclusion, you must have a pure respect to all kinds of Buddha teaching. Therefore, in the Tibetan tradition we have there's a term we saw kayupa, kayu. I think you heard that gilu sagya nyingma kayu. Why we call kayu, ka? Kadampa, kadampa. You had new kadampa and kadampa. If it's kadampa in Tibetan, we don't have a particular say. This kadampa. Ka mean ka is the Buddha teaching. The Buddha's teaching is the ka. Dham mean all the Buddha's teaching, teaching for you instruction how to overcome from your sufferings, how to overcome your problems. We cannot, really abandon any one sentence which is taught by Buddha. That's why you must have a pure kind of respect. So when you listen teaching, how you actually listen, how to listen has two parts. Abandoning the 3 faults of the vessel, rely on the 6 ideas. Do you remember? Because last time also we talked about the 3 faults. That means at the beginning you must have a pure motivation, good intention. Then you must remember all the teaching you listen, all the teaching you study, right? Study. Then not only that, when you listen teaching, when you study Dharma, you focus on listening and focus on study. You must be free from the 3 faults. Then relying on the 6 adya. Can you tell me what are the 6 adya without you looking your Lamrim?
Think yourself and be patient, seriously seek.
Yes.
And then the Dharma, the teacher is the instructor, is the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Dharma is medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Dharma, the thought is pure and can cure disease, like Nick says.
Thinking of yourself as a sick person, right? Number 1, correct. That means, look at, we really have to be, have to be very honest. Be honest. Why we need to study Lamrim? Why we need to listen the teaching? Why? That means you must always think, I'm a sick person. Sick person. We sick for how many years? Eon and eon. Right? Sick. That means the sickness is no simple sickness, can be cured by simple medicine. It needs serious medicine, which is Dharma. Then number 2, Then idea number 2, thinking of the instructor as a doctor. Right? That means I am very sick for eon and eon. Now you should think I am very lucky, I am very fortunate, because this is the first time I try to know how to cure, how to overcome all the serious sickness. Because right now you have a doctor. I'm not the doctor, I make sure. I'm not the doctor. I'm nurse. You can say I'm nurse, no doctor. Because, we are very lucky. Look at the time. Look at we are in the 21st century. It's a very busy kind of century. Also very kind of scary. We never know what will happen tomorrow. We never know. But we are very lucky to meet, the excellent teacher, excellent guru. So that means we have a good doctor. You must remember you have a good doctor. Not only that, then thinking of the instructor's explanation as the medicine. That means number 1 is truth, is really fact. We are really sick person. We seriously ill, seriously sick for many, many, many years. Even though within one day you should think, since we woke up until we sleeping, in between how many problems we face. Physical problem, still we can manage to control. Right? Physical problem, still we can manage. Eat healthy food, do some yoga, do some exercise, eat good, drink some good things. We can manage to control our physical problem. But the emotional problem is very serious. Therefore, number 1 is very truth, because we are very ill. Number 1. Number 2, yes, the instructor like Buddha Shakyamuni, Nagarjuna, as Adisha, Lama Salendrapa, all of them look like very good doctor. It's very truth. Good doctor. Dharma is, exactly is a very important, very good medicine. Then number 4, thinking of earnest practice as the way cure your disease. Look at number 4, we are not sure, right? That means you must always remember I am very lucky. I have a good doctor, all the your guru. I am very lucky. I have a good medicine, all the dharmas. Number 4, we are not serious about practicing in order to cure the disease. Then means 6, and then number 5, thinking of the Tathagata as excellent being. That means, I told many times, I think one time I told, the Buddhas are very excellent teacher, because before they became Buddha, all of them have, gone through all the study, all the practice. They are very experienced, person. That means they are excellent to instruct us how to overcome all the problems. Then number 6, the teaching will endure for a long time. So, when you listen teaching, you must remember, I am very sick. All the gurus are doctor. All the teachings are medicine. I have to be very serious about, my practice. And all what our Buddha teach us, those are truth, because they are excellent being. Then the teaching, you can see the teaching is very important. Then you wish to, endure, lasting the Dharma. Then this is, when you listen, you must remember the 6 ideas, or 6, the mental kind of the ideas. The how to explain the teaching, right? Now, Lamrim is important. Then you know the benefits of listening or study Dharma, how to listen, then you learn the 6 ideas. Next, how to explain. Then there's a 4. Number 1, contemplating the benefit of explaining the teaching. It is very beneficial to impact the teaching without concern worldly things. Let me look at the first, about the mostly how we should listen, what kind of mind we should have. Now, so in order to listen, in order to practice, what we need? We need a guru. Okay? We need a guru. So when the teacher explain or give a teaching, the teacher must have a very pure, good motivation, teaching without concern of worldly things. Right? Therefore, look at the beginning of the teaching, according to Tibetan tradition, I didn't see in other tradition, doing this thing. When the teacher sit on the throne, just before they sit on the throne, they do prostration 3 times. Right? Why? Mainly what? Huh? Yeah, of course, prostration 3 jewels. For what? Pay respect the teaching. This moment, look at 1, before he teach the teaching, he must pay respect to all the lineage guru, all the teaching. Number 1. Number 2, mainly in order to reduce the ego, in order to reduce the ego and pride. They thought, I'm guru, I have a lot of knowledge, I'm going to give the teaching to others. Then they have a pride, they have a ego. When do prostration, the ego going to reduce. You can see, when you think I'm same as this person, you never pay respect. You say hi, right? Like this, hi, hello, right? When you think, he's much superior than me, then you say hello, like this, big respect. You can see the differences. Ego. In order to reduce ego, do the prostration. Then, before he just sit it on the throne, he do the click, right? Always like this. Then, this moment, the teacher must remember impermanence and death in order to reduce all the ego, all the negative thoughts. Let me always click like this. You right? Do prostration 3 times. Before seated on the throne, click the, like this sound. Remember impermanence. Then, before start, giving the teaching, they recite, certain verses. This verses says, I'm giving teaching in, the really generate strong motivation. I'm teaching this to the student, to the disabled, different languages. So they have to recite this kind of verses. Let me know, prostration, reduce the pride. Click the finger, remember the impermanence. Then, when you remember impermanence, automatically reduce about all the worldly concerns. This moment, if somebody tell us, tomorrow morning, 4 a.m., there will be big earthquake in Singapore, nobody can escape. What we think? Still we think tomorrow I will cook good breakfast. Do you think I will go tomorrow somewhere? Never. You really think, how I can, have a peaceful dying. We never think name, fame, money, nothing. Because we can see the urgency, impermanence, right? Therefore, look at, it is very beneficial to impact the teaching without concern of worldly thing, profit, honor, fame, and like. Then is mentioned how many? 20 kind of benefits. Number one, you will come to have the collections. Number two, intelligence. Number three, understanding. Number four, stability. Number five, wisdom. That means you must remember all these kind of benefits if you have a pure motivation. Okay, from my case, I'm not your guru. Make sure I'm not your guru. Okay, you should not think Tasi or the Sifu. Okay, you should say your Tasi or the Pangyao. Okay, look at. It's very important for me. I'm teacher here, resident teacher for many years. In my mind, who respect me, who doesn't respect me, I don't care. Who treat me well, who don't treat me well, I don't care. I always try to be, Geshe Yonten. If somebody offer a lot of things, I never have a, very close feeling. Somebody doesn't give anything, I really don't have a distinct kind of feeling. I always try to be, equal with everybody. That means, if I think, the person is always, treat me well, he or she must be my close, kind of study partner. Or he or she doesn't give me anything, I never ignore. Because I must have a pure, good motivation. Otherwise, nobody can benefit from my, explanation. Therefore, pure motivation. The next page, number 64, the second paragraph, believe in the benefit of the explaining the teaching from the depth of your heart, as there are set forth many collection of sutra. That means you really need to believe, if I have a pure motivation, I can have all these benefits. Right? All these benefits. You should really believe in your heart and just give a pure teaching. Then number two, developing the reverence for the teachers, here like Buddha, and the teaching. Okay. Therefore, Buddha, then teaching, right? Teacher and teaching. So, as a Buddhist, everybody must have, the Buddha's statue, or Buddha picture, or Buddha painting. Not necessarily you must have a very expensive, very big. At least you need a picture of the Buddha Shakyamuni. Remember he is the founder of the Buddhism. He is my guru. Is Buddha is your guru? Really? Huh? You never meet him. How come he is your guru? Oh, I've been here many years. I'm not, nobody say I'm your guru, right? No. Yes, we have two types of guru. What are they? The root guru and the lineage gurus. Make sure you should not have misunderstanding. Many people said to me, I can have only one root guru, not 2, 3, 4. It is wrong. You can have a many, root guru, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10s. The root guru means whom you receive teaching directly. The Buddha Shakyamuni is our lineage guru. So we still receive the teaching. Where we get water? In Singapore? Yeah, you can say my tap, my water. Actually come from where? Malaysia. Indirectly coming from Malaysia, directly coming from your tap. Exactly, all the teaching come from Buddha. Therefore, we must have a respect the Buddha as our guru. Then you must have a picture of the Buddha or a small statue. Then second, you must have one of the Buddha teaching, like Hasudara, Diamond Sudara, whatever you have. Then when you put two together, first up top of the altar, above you must put the Buddha's teaching, the Buddha's statue. Okay, if you don't have a like a level of the kind of altar, then you just put the Buddha statue and next to the the text bit higher, because body, speech, and mind must remember the order. Then so when the doctor, when the teacher explain the teaching, what kind of behave the teacher must have. Then with what sort of thoughts, mean the motivation or mentally, then behavior physically, you should explain in the teaching. Then look at here, think of yourself as a doctor. That means the teacher, when give a teaching, the teacher must think, I look like a doctor. The doctor has a big responsibility. They have to take, save their life. Doctor. Then the teaching is medicine. Those listening to the teachings are sick person, right? Sick person. Then the Tathagata, excellent being, with the teaching remain for long time. That means when the teacher give a teaching, he or she must think, these kind of thoughts. Then number 4, right? That means what kind of teaching, how should we listen, then how we should respect the teaching and instructor, then how the teacher must give a teaching, how, physically and mentally. Then number 4, differentiating between those to whom you should and should not explain the teaching. This is important. According to Buddhist tradition, particularly according to Tibetan tradition, you must request 3 times to the Guru for receiving teaching. Minimum 3 times. 3 times. You go 1 time, so please give me teaching. 2nd time, 3rd time. Why? Make sure the student, the disciple who asks teaching, make sure they are very sincere, they are very serious about teaching. They are sincere. Check the motivation. Check the motivation. Then whom you should not. Traditionally, you should not give a teaching without making any request. We must request. Then there is mentioned, should not teach the teaching who sit on the horse, on the throne, is an exception. Then number C, page number 66. How a session should be concluded in relation to be both hearing and explaining the teaching. Let's say now there's a Lamrim, there's a Guru. The Guru has a proper, the proper motivation. All the student has a proper motivation. Then we listen the teaching. Then at the end, we have the ending session. Then what we should do at the ending? Usually what we do the dedication. We dedicate the merit. So we believe, when we sit in the one place, listening the teaching, receiving teaching, then at the end we believe we accumulate lot of merit, lot of the positive actions. All the positive action we must dedicate. With strong aspiration, dedicate the virtues that have arisen from explaining and hearing the teaching to your temporary and the final objective. This is meant why we need to dedicate, how we dedicate the merit. Why we need to dedicate? Not wasting, not losing. Look at anger and positive, virtues are very enemy kind of each other. Anger is one of the worst negative thoughts to destroy the virtues. At the end, if we don't really get the merit, let's say, we sit here for 1.5 hours, I try to explain, you try to understand. After class, if you have an argument with your families or friends, you get angry. The angry destroy it, the merit. So before you destroy it, we must dedicate. Right? For in the past, because people got the salary in cash, no check. Then there's a cash, now the online banking, right? So when you have a check, cash, make sure you must deposit the money. If you don't deposit, you will finish very soon or somebody stole the money, right? That means we must dedicate. Dedicating is look like deposit money in the bank, okay? Here's a very important one. The teaching to you, your temporary and objectives. So when we dedicate merit, you always think, you always have two things in your mind. That means I dedicate this merit for becoming Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. That means your objective becoming Buddha, right? Then second, you should think, I'm going to dedicate the merit to benefit all sentient beings, include me and my family. That means temporary and the objective. That means here you learn how and why. Why? If we don't dedicate, the anger is going to destroy the virtues. How? You need to dedicate for two things. One, the temporary, like achievement. One is the lasting achievement. For example, Buddhahood. Next sentence, if you explain and listen to the teaching as such as a manner, then you will unquestionably receive the efforts benefit even for a single session. That means the teacher teach, with the pure motivation, the student listen with the pure motivation, then you accumulate, lots of merit, not questionable, unquestionable, right? This is sure. Then you will clear away all the karmic obscuration that have accumulated through not taking to hear instruction on the hearing and explain in the teaching, and that result from the not respecting the teaching and the teacher, so forth. In this lifetime, if you listen with a pure motivation, with the respect, with the sixth mind, then it clear all the negative karma we accumulate based on not listening proper way. We have a lot of disrespect for the Dharma. It's clear. Not only that, here mentioned further, you stop new accumulation of these obstruction. Also, in so forth as you have taken to heart this way of explaining and the listening to the teaching, the instruction that are explained will benefit your mind. In generally, after all the former excellent being realized this, the practice earnestly, the particular former guru in the lineage of those instructions made very earnest the great effort of this way. That's mean all the guru said you must have this kind of motivation, pure motivation, pure intention. The next sentence is by Lama Tsong-kha-pa. He said, this is a great instruction. You will not transform your mind how extensive you explain the profound teaching. This very teaching of himself assists your afflictions. Look at this, very important, right? Because you will not transform your mind without being certain about this. If you don't have a pure motivation, if you don't know the benefit of the Dharma, benefit of the listening Dharma, then without this certainty no matter how extensive you explain the profound teaching, that means if I don't have a pure motivation, doesn't matter how extensive the teaching, how profound the teaching, it assists what? Teaching often serves to assist your affliction. Right? That means I don't have a pure motivation. Suddenly, the teaching caused me to increase my ego, increase my pride. Or the student doesn't have a proper motivation. Also, the teaching caused to increase your ego, your anger, your hatred, your attachment. Therefore, I said many times in the past, within the study partners, some of you already study for many years. You have a better understanding than others. That time you should not think, oh, I'm very much better than them. That suddenly increase your ego, increase your pride. Also, you should not look down the new student who doesn't know much, who have a lot of confusion, who have a lot of misunderstanding, who doesn't know very well. He's not easy to understand. There has a lot of problem. You should not look them down. You must have a compassion. You must have a pure love them. Try to explain, try to help them to have a better understanding. Otherwise, the dharma can be cause, assist your affliction. Then they are saying here, like a helpful deity that become a demon. Right? That means dharma is very important, like a medicine. If you don't know how to use it, the dharma become poison. Right? Therefore, you can see within your study partners, your friends, before they become a Buddhist, before they interested in dharma, the person is very happy person, very open-minded, very easy person. Somehow, since they have an interest in dharma, since they follow dharma, the person become very negative. The person mind become very narrow. They become very narrow-minded because they didn't know how to practice, how to listen. That's why the dharma caused to arise afflictions. Right? You can see many people. Sometimes you feel yourself, before I study dharma, before I follow dharma, I was very happy. Now I'm very unhappy. Right? Dharma no good. You say, oh, dharma no good. Sometimes, before I was practice dharma, my life is very smooth, very good. After study dharma, my life become very misery. Then you blame to the dharma, because at the beginning we don't have the proper, the way of benefit of dharma, proper way of listening and teaching. Okay, therefore, the more you study dharma, the more you practice dharma, the more you become happy, more open-minded, more happy, more relaxed, less short-temper. Right? Then you are taking the dharma as a medicine. If you become opposite, supposed to be happy, become very unhappy. Supposed to be patient, become very short-temper. Supposed to be open-minded, become very narrow-minded. Then the dharma become poison. Then better to study, better to stop practice dharma, because it's accumulating a lot of negative thoughts. Right? This is the benefit of teaching. Then I ask you to do homework about do you remember? Relying on the teacher. Now look at, yes, there's a benefit of dharma. Yeah, the teaching is very good. Then you should think, yes, I know how to listen. Right? How to listen. Right? That means at the beginning we learn the greatness of the teaching. Then second, we learn how to listen. Third, we learn how to respect. Right? Then at the end, we learn we really have to be, really have to know how to study, how to practice, how to dedicate. Now, look at, in order to do all these things, what we need? We need a teacher. Teacher, right? Very important. It has two parts. How to rely on the teacher, how the students train their mind after having relied on the teaching. The teacher, right? First you look very happy, how to rely on the teacher, right? I tell many times, every time we criticize the teacher, oh, the teacher no good, the master no good, the Geshe no good, the teacher no good. You never say, I'm no good. It's not really fair, right? It's not really fair. You say, oh, the teacher no good, he doesn't teach well. You never say, I'm not good student, I didn't study very well. Right? That's why it's so important here. How the student train their mind after having relied on the teacher. That means you talk about, the quality of the students, the quality of the teachers. Then how to rely on the teacher? The next sentence, the next words. Can you read? How to rely on the teacher, the root of the path. The next you will learn the root of the happiness. Okay, it's when the root, root of the path. Path. Therefore, just we chant about the foundation of all good qualities is rely on the teacher. Somewhat elaborate explanation of that developing certain knowledge. There's two parts. At the beginning of all the personal instructions, do not give up. The excellent teacher is the prime instruction. If somebody asks you, give me, the good instruction, teach me the good practice. The answer here, can you see the answer here? Do not give up the excellent teacher. Right? That means when you study Dharma, when you practice Dharma, you always have a problem with whom? The teacher. Right? That with the teacher. You always have a problem with the teacher. Because teacher asks you go in the west, you walk for the south. Then teachers call you, then you get angry. Right? Therefore, there's always a problem between, disciple and the teacher. If you give up, your excellent teacher, then you will have a lot of, problems. Therefore, he never say here, never give up teacher. He said, never give up, don't give up the excellent teacher. Never say give up, don't give up the teacher. Say excellent teacher. So what does mean excellent? Thus the excellent teacher is a source of all temporary happiness and the certain goodness. Excellent, not teacher, okay? They never say the teacher. The excellent teacher is the source of all temporary happiness and certain goodness. That means in order to achieve the temporary, samsaric happiness, also very much depend on the excellent teacher. In order to achieve the, certain goodness mean the liberation, Buddhahood, also depend on the excellent teacher. Beginning with the production of the single good quality and the reduction of the single faults in students' mind, and eventually encompassing all the knowledge of the beyond that. Therefore, the way of you initially rely on the teacher is important for the. Right? That means in order to reduce the false, negative thoughts, also in order to generate the positive thoughts, also depend on the excellent teacher, like a Buddha Shakyamuni, excellent teacher. In short, in the short way, attaining the bringing to the completion all the bodhisattva deeds, and likewise attaining and the bringing to the completion the perfection level for brains. So that means all the good qualities is depend on the excellent teachers. In order to reduce all the bad qualities, also depend on the, like a excellent teacher. So can you tell me, in order to be a excellent teacher, what kind of quality he or she must have? The last sentence, the defining characteristic of the teacher to be relied upon, right? So defining characteristic, the definition kind of quality is mentioned. How many? Page number 71. Teacher who is rely on the Mahayana teacher. Okay, before this, I will read the sentence. Generally, in the scripture and the commentaries, many defining characteristics of the teacher are taught from viewpoint of individual vehicles. That means we have how many vehicles in Buddhist tradition? 3 vehicles. What are they? Okay. You should not see the 3 vehicles, the BMW and Mercedes, and the ordinary cars. 3 vehicles, individual vehicles. That means, yes, right. Hearer vehicles, solitary realizer vehicles, and bodhisattva vehicles. 3 vehicles. Depend on, the teachers depend on which tradition. In order to be the solitary realizer path teacher, there's a different, definition, different characteristic. In order to be hearers, teacher, there's a different quality. In order to be bodhisattva's teacher, there's a different characteristic. Generally, is mentioned here, rely on the Mahayana teacher who is number 1, disciplined. Okay, discipline. In order to be Mahayana teacher, the teacher, he or she must be disciplined. Number 2, serene. Number 3, thoroughly pacified. Okay, very important. Disciplined, serene, then thoroughly pacified. Is explain the 3 higher mental trainings. 3 mental trainings. What are they? Ethical discipline. That means practice of ethical discipline, practice of concentration, practice of wisdom. Look at, in order to be Mahayana teacher, the teacher, he or she must be disciplined, must be follow, purely follow the vows, purely follow the ethical discipline. That means, how we know the person is really, disciplined or not? Can you tell me, how do we know the teacher is disciplined or not? How do we know? Just guess. We say, we have a teacher, then we say, our teacher no good, because our teacher is not disciplined. So if I ask why he or she is not disciplined, why? But what are you going to say? Through observation, finally you have to say he or she is not disciplined. Why? If you say, he eats too much, is there a reason? No. He or she sleep for a long time, No good. How we know? Huh? There's a indication, there's a result you can see the person is disciplined or not. Okay, the person has a less negative thoughts. Almost control all the negative thoughts. Reduce the negative thoughts, then the person is very disciplined. Somebody praise you, if you feel so happy, if you feel so proud about yourself, that means you are not disciplined. Somebody criticize you, somebody, says so many bad things about you, when you get angry, that means you are not trained, you are not disciplined. That means your mind have to be very calm all the time. That means the person is disciplined. Then how we know the teacher is, serene, right? Serene. How we know? Almost reduce all the negative thoughts. There's no, manifested negative thoughts. Then thoroughly pacified means almost look like, he or she doesn't have any kinds of negative thoughts. That means the person have to be, practice the 3 mental training. Then next one to number 3, number 4, has a good qualities surprising those of the students. That means yes, he himself, he or she, person is must be disciplined, must be serene, must be thoroughly pacified. Not only that, the teacher must have a good quality, surprising those of the student. That's me look at. In order to be teacher, the teacher must have a better knowledge about Dharma, right? If the teacher doesn't have a better or less knowledge about Dharma, then the teacher cannot teach any Dharma. Number 4. Number 5, the teacher must be very energetic. Energetic means the teacher must be look like me, walking every day 10 kilometers. No. What does mean energetic? Eager. Right? Yonten zonje labo long tingi singe duwa jo yonten labo zonje. Yeah, that means, energetic man, yes, very eagerness must be there. For example, I think some of you might be teacher. When you teach in class, some student is very intelligent, or he or she can pick up very easily, very fast. Some student need to, you need to explain many times. You explain in the morning, the student forgot afternoon. You explain afternoon, forgot evening. So we have this kind of student, right? That means the teacher must be very patient, very energetic. You should not say, oh, don't come class, you're not going to learn anything, right? Energetic. That means another quality. Then next one, energetic. Then has a wealth of the scripture knowledge. The teacher must be very wealthy, not economically wealthy of scripture knowledge, very important, right? Not just have a, superior knowledge. Not only that, the teacher must be very rich of scripture knowledge. I said in the past, look at this day, in the past, look at Tibetan remain in the Tibet, Chinese remain in Chinese, India is, everybody, all Buddhist countries remain in separately. So for the Theravada people like Thailand, they don't need to know anything about the, Vajrayana, Tantrayana, Prajana Paramiting. They are very happy about the Four Noble Truths, 12 so and so. Nowadays, everything come closer. If somebody asks about the, question about the Buddha teaching, The teacher must have a, lot of knowledge about Dharma. I said, the Buddha Dharma is a three-dimension, right? Dimension. From the Theravada side, from the Sudra Mahayana side, from the Vajra Mahayana side. If you don't have the three knowledges, from the, the Theravada knowledge, from the Sudrayana Mahayana, Vajrayana Mahayana, you cannot give the right picture of Buddha Dharma. When you give the explanation based on the Theravada side, you're missing two sides. When you explain only the Vajrayana sides, you're missing other two sides. Therefore, the teacher must have a, good knowledge about Buddha Dharma. Have to be very wealthy about scripture. The next, knowledge of reality. And the next one, possessing loving concern. This means not only has a better quality, better knowledge than the student, not only be wealth of the scripture knowledge, must be loving and concern. The teacher have to be very loving person. If the person doesn't have a pure love for everybody, the teacher always discriminate between disciple. Not only that, then the teacher doesn't have a pure love. The teacher also looking for the certain worldly things. That means lovings and concern. The next one has through knowledge about the reality. That means it's kind of high level. The teacher must realize emptiness, or the teacher has a good or right understanding about emptiness. Not only that, then next one, skill in instructing disciples, and has abandoned the disparateness. Right? That means if they have only good knowledge, they have all the knowledge of the teacher is not in, doesn't have a skillful, then the teacher really don't know how to instruct. The next one has abandoned the disparateness. Look at that means sometimes the student really doesn't know. They ask question again and again. Then finally, sometimes the teacher lost the temper. Should not be like that. That means this is the qualities of the teacher. How many qualities? Number 1, discipline. Number 2, serene. Number 3, thoroughly pacify. Number 4, good qualities supervising those of the students. Number 5. Number 6, energetic. Number 7, well of scripture knowledge. Number 8, possessing loving concern. Number 9, reality. I think number 8. Number 9, skill in instruction disciples. Number 10, disparateness. Therefore, when you say, oh, he is a good teacher, she is a good teacher, he or she is not good teacher, you must judge based on these 10 qualities. 10 qualities, okay? 10 qualities. Okay, we can stop here as a revision. So we have another maybe 15-20 minutes. So what do you think? We should go kind of bit revision? Do you feel very bored? Really? I think if I do revision every day was very good. Huh? Yeah. Okay, next. So we mainly study about the Bodhisattva paths, right? So okay, if I ask you, based on in the previous class, if I ask you how you can practice, how you must practice bodhicitta, what is the answer? Huh? Very good then. Uh-huh. First, okay, why we need to practice bodhicitta? Why? Becoming Buddha, right? Becoming Buddha. If you become only arhat, if you achieve the arhatship, so what's the problem? Huh? Huh? Okay, I told you, right, there's a three types of kind of happiness levels. One is the samsaric happiness. Do you remember samsaric happiness? All the samsaric happiness depend on the merits or positive actions. Right? Clear. Therefore, in wish to be really seriously want to be happy in samsara, always do positive action, always do good things. It's good for you, good for others. Second, not only samsaric happiness, you are looking more higher than the samsara happiness, which is liberation, fully liberated from samsara and cause of samsara. That means liberation. If you achieve liberation, yes, even though you haven't achieved your own kind of, lasting happiness, still you haven't eliminated all the, negative things. Still you have some kind of negative thoughts. Therefore, you need to practice bodhicitta in order to become a Buddha. When you become a Buddha, you complete your own achievement. You already complete, achievement for others. Correct? Therefore, you should think why you need to practice bodhicitta. I want to achieve, the complete achievement, the complete achievement. Complete achievement for myself, complete achievement for others. Clear? So what is your complete achievement? You have completely, eliminated, the complete elimination. For example, ignorance, all the negative thoughts, as well as the imprint, right, live by ignorance. When you become Buddha, you are completely free from all kinds of, the negativities. No, there's no enough. Therefore, you achieve your own happiness, your own achievement. So what is the achievement for others? Why you want to become Buddha? Huh? Do you remember when you, I think most of you know that when you join in army, like you say, service, national service, you have to make a commitment, right? You have to make a commitment. Why you want to join army? Saving my country, right? Saving my country. Therefore, why you want to become Buddha? In order to benefit myself, yes. In order to benefit myself, how you can benefit yourself? If I'm totally free from all the negativities, I'm completely very happy. Not only that, I want to, become a Buddha to benefit for others, sentient beings. How you can benefit others? How? Huh? No. Yes, look at. First, I want to practice bodhicitta. Why? Second, reason I want to become a Buddha. Then next question, why you want to be Buddha? I want to achieve my own, achievement for others. What is your achievement for your own sake? Eliminating all the negativities. That means mainly the cessation. So how you can benefit for others? How? Look at now, again benefits. Let's say, someone is very rich, one of the rich person in the world. He or she can benefit only for the samsaric things. Build hospital, build bridge, road, hospitals, this thing, give me education. who are the very rich, lot of money, they can give only the samsaric benefits, right? Benefit. Cannot give a dharma. Then there's another person who are becoming arhat, who already achieved the liberation, not Buddha. He or she can give you better, than the samsari happiness. How he or she can teach you how to achieve liberation. Cannot teach how you become a Buddha. Right? Then next you become Buddha. Yes, you can give the samsari happiness. Also you can teach how to achieve liberation. Also you can teach how to achieve Buddhahood. That means after you becoming Buddha, you can give all kinds of benefits. Right? Therefore, you should think, I want to practice bodhicitta in order to benefit all sentient beings, in order to benefit myself. That means if you practice only emptiness, you can eliminate all the negative thoughts, not the imprint of which is lived by all the negative thoughts, ignorance. Therefore, you need to practice bodhicitta. This is the benefit. Then, at the beginning, so how you really generate bodhicitta? Then there's a conditions. So since today, we really start to study Lamrim, particularly Bodhisattva paths. Every morning, doesn't matter how much dharma knowledge you have, doesn't matter you have a lot of, you have a little, you have nothing. When you walk early morning, first you think, I really wish to be Buddha. I really want to be Buddha to benefit all sentient beings, include myself. You just think this way, stay for quiet for maybe 5-10 minutes. Really seriously wish to become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Then, how I can become Buddha? Practice bodhicitta. What does mean bodhicitta? Then slowly, we learn how to practice bodhicitta, right? Every morning. Then I think most of you do the 6-session Guru Yoga. I think many of you do the 6-session Guru Yoga. If you do 6-session Guru Yoga, every day you generate bodhicitta 6 times. You really don't know. Actually, when you recite the recitation, there. If you don't do the 6-session Guru Yoga, if you could, please, every day, 6 times, you generate bodhicitta. Simply in the morning, I want to become Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Then have a breakfast, whatever. Then maybe lunchtime. Then maybe tea break, like 3 or 4 o'clock. Then evening, 6, 7. Then before you go to bed, always think, I want to be Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. If you have this kind of habituation, then even though when you are seriously ill, you are almost 100% going to die, then still you think, I wish to be Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. It's good every day you remind you Buddha. Then you remind you practice bodhicitta. Okay? Therefore, please try to generate bodhicitta every day. Then, so the Lamrim is the Mahayana teaching, right? So here one thing I thought we should read. That means the Buddhist Chitta is the part of the Mahayana path. The Lamrim is the Mahayana teaching. Then here it mentioned page number 17. From the ending, page, from the end, the third paragraph. Page number 17. Therefore, it is not sufficient that the teaching be Mahayana teaching. Can you read, please? Therefore, not sufficient that the teaching be Mahayana teaching. Right? Yes, we know Lamrim is Mahayana teaching. Hasudara is the Mahayana teaching. We know. but it's not, is sufficient. It is crucial that the person be Mahayana practitioner, right? Mahayana practitioner. For example, you can see among your friends, someone physically not that, attractive. Physically, there's a physical lot of challenge, a lot of problem. If the person, wear very expensive jewelry, can you see the person looks very nice? No. Therefore, yes, the jewelry, the diamond, gold, these are very expensive, very precious, very rare. But the jewelry must be fit to the person. Okay, that means the teaching is Mahayana teaching. It's not, not sufficient. It is so important the person be Mahayana practitioner. How? Then look at. Furthermore, functioning as a Mahayana practitioner depends solely what? On realizing the spirit of enlightenment. Yes, teaching is Mahayana teaching is not sufficient. The person must be Mahayana practitioner. How the person can be Mahayana practitioner? It depends on realizing the bodhicitta, right? If you have a bodhicitta, you are truly Mahayana practitioner. If you don't have a bodhicitta, you follow the Mahayana tradition. You are not yet Mahayana practitioner. Hence, if you have only intellectual understanding of the spirit, if you have only understanding of the bodhicitta, then what happened? Then you, please read, then you likewise have only an intellectual understanding of what is meant to be Mahayana practitioner. That means everybody has a intellectual understanding of the bodhicitta, right? We understand what does mean bodhicitta, but we don't have bodhicitta yet, right? It's okay, don't worry. Intellectual understanding of the spirit. Then you like what? Yeah, I like talking, I like only speaking. If the spirit is completely perfect, then the right? It's okay, don't be serious. Now you hear what you learn. The teaching is the Mahayana teaching is not enough sufficient. You must be Mahayana practitioner. How I can be Mahayana practitioner? If you realize the bodhicitta, then you are Mahayana practitioner. Then if you have only intellectual level of bodhicitta, then you become kind of same. You are not really Mahayana practitioner. Likewise, have only intellectual understanding of what is meant to be Mahayana practitioner. If the spirit is completely perfect, then the Mahayana practitioner is genuine to strive for this. So they are so important. You must think. Yes, teaching is Mahayana teaching not enough. For example, the diamond is very important, very good, very expensive. In order to wear the diamond jewelry, the person has to be very physically look nice. Right? Otherwise, you look very strange. For me, I'm not sure you. Then, the teaching is Mahayana teaching, not enough. You have to be Mahayana practitioner. How I can be Mahayana practitioner? I must realize bodhicitta. If you have only intellectual bodhicitta, then you know what does mean Mahayana practitioner. Clear? Clear? That means look at all of us. We have a lot of many of you, have been studying Dharma for many years. Also, some of you, attend the Nalanda course, attend many other teachers, which is very good. I really admire, I really, appreciate that about it. But make sure you practice what you learn. Make sure you practice what you learn. Make sure every day, you become more happy person. Compared with last year, you are more happy. Compared with last year, you are more open-minded. compared with last year, you are more compassionate, less anger, less attachment, less ego. If you become opposite, that means remember, the Dharma turned as a poison. It doesn't mean that Dharma become poison. Dharma never become poison. For you become a poison. Right? Therefore, please, I can see many Buddhist people is bit, mental. Yes. Really, I sometimes think, even though, look at, we all follow the Buddha Dharma. We follow the Buddha Shakyamuni. We are Buddhist. Doesn't matter which, Lama you follow, which Sifu you follow, which center you go, which Dharma you study, still you follow Buddhism, still you study Dharma. Sometimes you really discriminate. Oh, this person belong to this temple, this group belong to this temple, this person follow this much. Always have a discrimination. It's no good at all. This means still, Dharma become poison. Okay? So at the end, we do the dedication prayers. In order to do it, so please remember how to dedicate, why we need to dedicate the merit. No homework. I know nobody going to do nobody done the homework. Today no homework.